Hi there, welcome to Nonsense Whisky. My name's VinPF, and on today's episode we're going to be covering some American whiskey, but not as we're used to tasting it. This is a single malt whiskey from Few out of Chicago. Now, I've tried a couple of Few bottlings before, so I'm going to pop them up on a link up here, and also some American kind of whiskey bourbon playlists. So if you're interested, throughout the show there'll be stuff up here. This one, as I said, is not a bourbon, it's an American single malt whiskey. So it's 100% malted barley in the style of Scotch. Obviously it can't be called Scotch because it hasn't been made in Scotland. This one here has coin 237 atop it. So if you're interested in this coin or any of the others, check the description out below and you can find all the information you need on how to get hold of them. This thing, we're not sure about the age of this, but it's 100% malted barley, as I said, and it's a mixture of unsmoked and smoked barley. And they use cherry wood chippings to smoke that out, which is an interesting thing, I think. Now, it's a 46.5%, so that's a good ABV. It's a little bit pricey in the UK, and it's actually quite unavailable as well. So it's £55 as was, but it's pretty much sold out anywhere I could find it. You can still get it in various different places, secondary market and whatnot. Hopefully in America you can get it a little bit easier than over here, but £55 is a lot of money to ask for a whiskey of unknown age. But that said, it is sold in a 750ml bottle instead of 700, so you have to factor in that extra liquid with the price, the fact that it's craft distilling, the fact that it's made its way over from America, all those sorts of things before you start criticising the price specifically. But it doesn't really matter if the whiskey is good, right? But it's one of those things. Now, something I don't think I did touch on in the last video is that Few, F-E-W, is actually an acronym. And it's named after Frances Elizabeth Willard, which is an interesting thing, I think. I like those kind of little touches. Let's get onto the tasting and see what we've got in the glass. Now, the first thing that really jumped out at me the first time I tried this, and now, is that it's got an incredibly woody, almost hay-like smell to it. It's kind of fresh hay in a bale. Definitely, yeah, it's all over it. Just underneath that, we're getting some apples, and maybe some vanillas, but really, it's almost like you're standing in a barn. That kind of hay, grassy, cereally notes to it. For me, I think that's probably to do with its age. We don't know exactly how old it is. In the UK, they can sell it as single malt whiskey, so I assume it's at least 3 years old, but other than that, I couldn't tell you. On the palate then. Now, it's not the most viscous of whiskies. I don't want to say the word watery because that makes it sound negative, but it's not as kind of thick and luscious as some that I've tried, especially bourbons. And you're getting more of that kind of hay notes to it, more of them herbally, grassy notes. And for me, that's a real winner. I really like those kind of flavours. Which is strange. I'm kind of leaning towards more peaty and sweeter, basically everything. I'm enjoying everything right now, but for me, I enjoyed this straight away. I quite like that aroma of being in a barn. I come from a kind of rural upbringing, and being near to that kind of hay-like smells really appeals to me, I think. But I could see this dividing the field quite neatly. If you're either into that flavour or you're not, and if you're not, then you're not going to like this at all. But if you are, then you're in it, right? So for me, real nice. It's got a nice kind of medium long with a little bit of spicy finish to it as well. So there's definitely a lot there to enjoy. It is quite expensive. So especially now if you're buying secondary market, I wholeheartedly do not recommend that you spend more than the RRP trying to get hold of this. It's not one of those whiskies that's going to blow anyone away immediately, I don't think. But for me, it hits the plus points on the cereal notes and the hay-like flavours, but if that doesn't sound like something you'd enjoy, then I would say definitely give this a miss and try something of their other spirits instead. They're doing a lot of incredible stuff. They're doing some bourbon, they're doing some rye, lots of funky gins and things like that. They even did a single barrel select for the British Bourbon Society, which I covered on a video. I think I probably linked that earlier, but I'll stick it up here if I didn't. And for me, I think it's a real winner, but it's definitely one of those ones you want to try before you buy. Welcome to No Nonsense Whisky. My name's VinPF, and on today's for a whisky of unknown origin, no, get rid of all of that.